the London Marathon 40th race is almost upon us. Bekele with his Next Percent and Kipchoge with his Alphafly. It doesn't get any better than this. Hey guys, EDDBUD here and welcome to the channel. If it's your first time here, do think about hitting that subscribe button and clicking the bell below for notifications of when new videos are launched. So back a few weeks ago I speculated whether Bekele might wear the Vaporfly Next Percent for the London Marathon 40th race. Lots of you suggested that I was completely insane and that of course he would wear the Alphafly. Doesn't look that way. I got it spot on that he doesn't feel the Alphafly is quite the shoe for him and he's going to be opting for the Vaporfly Next Percent. Let's not forget that superb time that he managed last year in the Berlin Marathon, only 2 seconds behind Kipchoge's world record. It's no surprise that Nike have leapt upon this, and I noticed this morning there will be members access very shortly for the Mango version of both the Next Percent and the Alphafly Next Percent. They don't miss a trick, those guys. When there's a new shoe colourway out, people want it. I'm sure there won't be a shortage of people trying to get that shoe once it releases. They're not going to hang about. They always sell out pretty quickly unless you have a size 3.5 or a 4. I guess my daughter could get one. It does appear that Bekele is going to make use of that Mango colourway Next Percent for the race on Sunday. All eyes will be on St James's Park for that multi-lap race. I think the lap is a couple of kilometres, so it's going to be very interesting to see how the constant curves and bends actually make a difference to the time. Could it be this quicker? I don't know. We'll soon find out. Get yourselves a nice hearty breakfast on Sunday morning, if you're in the UK of course. Otherwise you're going to have to wake up or not go to bed. One of the two. Just don't overload it on the coffee. He did mention that the Alphafly just wasn't the shoe for him. He'd had some problems, he stated, and that he needed some more time to sort of come to terms with it. Actually, I think that's quite the case for a lot of people. They've managed to get their hands on a pair of these and it perhaps hasn't lived up to the expectation that they had. I certainly don't need another pair of either of those shoes. I've got more than enough. So Mrs. EDDBUD, if you're listening, I won't be buying them. I promise. Get those fingers ready when they release. It's gonna be very soon, isn't it? Maybe at the weekend, maybe even tomorrow. I had a hunch that he'd opt for the Vaporfly Next Percent, and here is why. Obviously he's got experience in this shoe, also running the London Big Half in it very effectively, finishing just over an hour and 30 seconds. And also, let's remember the number of races where he didn't finish. He started and didn't make it through the entire race. I don't think he'll want to jeopardise his opportunity of racing against Kipchoge. It's a great opportunity. He'll want to be at full power, controlling as many attributes as he can. So that's probably why he's opting for the Vaporfly Next Percent over the Alphafly. Master shoe man Kipchoge though had a trick up his sleeve. I knew he would. A special Kenyan colourway of the Alphafly. I love the fact that in the press conference for the event he said that obviously Nike are a running shoe company and that Kenya is a running company also. I mean, he's right, they produce such incredible distance runners, second to none. So many superb athletes from that side of the world. Just listening to Kipchoge, it was really heartening. You know, he paints the picture of the race being something that provides hope to everybody, that everyone will be running their virtual races on that day and they'll all be running together. But I think just him racing with some other elites is giving us something to look forward to, something to be excited about at this very strange time in the world. I was very interested by a question that somebody asked Kipchoge during the press conference. They asked him whether he thought the Alphafly shoes were in the spirit of the sport, if he felt they were ruining things at all. He used a comparison with the press conference itself, which was being done virtually, and how technology allowed that to happen. And without technology, it simply wouldn't be the case. He said that life and technology really do go hand in hand. Progress actually was a word that Kipchoge used many times during that press conference. Clearly a man who's focusing on his goals, constantly finding a way to keep progressing towards them. I think a very reasonable and logical example there. We need to accept change and embrace it in order to progress. We can think back to the shoes that Roger Bannister wore for the 4-minute mile in 1954, perhaps even the Adidas shoes that were given to Jesse Owens in the Olympics in 1936. Constant development has helped us to progress, and technology doesn't stop rolling onwards, neither does life. Rust never sleeps. Just having a look here at the weights and heights of the runners, there's a very slight difference between the two, and we know there's a slight difference between the shoes in terms of weight also. I stand by my view that even a small amount of a weight increase in a shoe is going to take a toll over a long distance like the marathon. Could that be a deciding factor for Bekele in terms of his shoe selection? I don't know quite how accurate these weights are, but it does suggest Bekele's a little bit heavier than Kipchoge and slightly shorter. I've certainly seen that some people just do not get on with the addition of the AirPods in the Alphafly Next percent. They've stated they find the shoe a little bit clunky, nowhere near as smooth perhaps as the Next percent. It'd be really interesting to know the factors that Bekele's taken into account in terms of his shoe selection this time round. I wonder if perhaps the shoe's upper could have something to do with the selection. It does look at about 7 or 8 AM on Sunday that there is going to be some rain, between 63 to 70% chance of rain. I mean, if you live in the UK, you know there's always a chance of rain. Could it be he's thinking, I'm going with the Next percent, I know it works in a variety of different weather conditions. Perhaps he's had a look at the terrain, who knows? It could be that he was very worried about the debris left by squirrels, acorns and such on the ground. I don't think that's probably even entered his mind, but be careful of those squirrels, Bekele. Looks like I'm going to have to set an alarm for Sunday morning so I can get up nice and early. Little coffee, some bananas, maybe even some Weetabix. Don't want to miss out on this one though, I'm really excited about it. Although the problem is, once this is all over that day, you know, I'll watch the women's race, I'll watch the wheelchair race as well. What do I do then? It'll just be barren, be no running, it'll all be over. Till next time. I'll be keen to see Bridget Kosgei as well in the women's elite race. She's one of my favourites, so I'll be keen to see what she's wearing, what sort of time she can produce as well. An exceptional runner. I was interested also to see that runners and coordinators that will be at the race on Sunday will be using specialised radio frequency technology to ensure that they're kept safe, and it's also monitored as to whether they're in close proximity to each other. The runners won't have to wear these devices during the race, in the build-up and perhaps afterwards, but this obviously helps to keep everybody safe in this strange time that we live in. Good to see organisation and technology working there. I think we've got to look at technology and utilise it for good, utilise it for excitement, utilise it for safety as well. I think it's all about keeping records of where people have been very close to each other for sustained periods of time. I can't wait for this one. Who do you think's going to come out on top? Maybe somebody else? I don't know. It could happen. It's not just about Bekele and Kipchoge, although they are the masters right now. I'm half thinking about just going out and running a marathon, maybe on Saturday, just for the fun of it. Do you think it's going to be a Vaporfly Next percent victory for Bekele, or do you think that the master, the GOAT, Kipchoge, will be the victor in his Alphafly Next percent Kenya edition? Let me know in the comments below. Musical interlude time. I needed a boost of power pop rock from the late 90s. I pulled out an old album called Neo Wave by Silversun. This one was released in 1998, so we're going back a good 22 years. There's lots of leanings to Queen there, fantastic classic rock guitar sounds, but some of the tunes are knocked out at breakneck speed. My favourite on there is Hey Girlfriend, and then track number 2 on the album, which is called I'll See You Around. That one is a real winner, that track. It's a rare album where you get like 16 tracks on there. And I think only one of them's like a weird kind of bit of atmospheric filler. One of those super albums, you go back to it and realise actually it's got quite a classic sound about it. Doesn't sound too dated at all. There Goes Summer as well is another really great track. It's always the fast ones I like on this album. They did a cover of the song Too Much Too Little Too Late as well, a big sort of anthemic rock type version. Worth checking out, Neo Wave by Silversun. Thanks for tuning in, people. I very much appreciate it. Hope you're looking forward to the 40th London Marathon race this weekend. Let me know if you're going to be tuning in down in the comments. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you get notified when new videos launch. It also helps the channel out a huge amount if you give this video a thumbs up, like, and share it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you.